Evening, members of CRMHA, also known as the Central Railway Museum. It's easier to pronounce and spell. My name is Ralph Watson, and I lived in Seneca for 10 years and worked at Oconee Regional Medical Center, Memorial Hospital, GHS, Prisma Health, whatever it's called now. And one of the things I did on arriving in Oconee County, South Carolina, was go to a newcomers club meeting, and there was a fellow there with a piece of pink foam with a piece of track and an HO locomotive and a Western Maryland boxcar on it. His name was Sandy Eustace, and he got me back into this train thing that I had been out of for a long, long time. So after retiring from working at the hospital there in Seneca, my wife and I moved over here to Crossville, Tennessee, because her sister lives over here. And Crossville is halfway between Knoxville and Nashville. And if you go south the same distance, you're in Chattanooga. So we're sort of the western edge of eastern Tennessee, the eastern edge of middle Tennessee. Town of about 20,000 people in the county. It's the largest county by area in Tennessee, certainly not by population. The weather yesterday was 60 degrees and sunny. Today it's raining and 35 degrees. So you think your weather changes fast. Right now I am standing in front of, come on, oh, I gotta do it this way. Change the pattern, change the camera view. Change the camera view, I said. There we go. This is the Crossville Model Railroad Club, housed in the Crossville Outlet Mall Center. We have an entire suite in the Crossville Outlet Mall. There are a number of empty suites here now, which gives us a little trepidation about our future foot traffic coming in. But let's take the approach of an anxious 8-year-old and run in the front door. Yes, always free admission, and we've changed our hours because of you know what, and that's unfortunately the way it is. This is one of the first things you see when you come in is our donation box, and we're selling calendars. We'll make you a deal on a 2021 calendar, $10 each, 3 for $25 or 12 for $60. That makes them $5 each. Very important. You have to count how many people come in. We don't take guest temperatures. This is our brochure. This again is one of the first things you see on the way in is the scale comparison. Feel free to interrupt if you have questions. Yes, we are in some O-scale things here that are surplus donations, ready to be bought and taken home by some anxious model railroad enthusiast. Over here on the counter, we've got some other things, various scales. These Ambroid cars are a new addition since I was here last. We got a pier set. We got an interesting track cleaning car in G, and the track you can use it on to clean. And we've got a little bit of stuff. Some of this stuff is going for $1. Some of it's going for $2. The lantern though is not for sale. I imagine Mac has something he could tell us about this lantern. It's from ADLA Adlai, like Adlai Stevenson. Okay, there it is. Which brings us to the first layout. This, folks, is Z scale, and this is the entire layout. We had it operated on a push button but we had to disable all the push buttons with the cross-contamination risks. We do have a scavenger hunt game for this layout. Some of the things are a little not quite, to scale. Speaking of scale, there's a wine cork for comparative size on what size is Z. And we give people some guidance. Z scale 1 to 2 of 20, great for apartments or wanting a lot of railroad. And Delta apparently flies here. Any questions on Z? No? Okay.
How big is that whole layout? It's got to be tiny. Right?
3 by 5, maybe. There's a chair sitting next to it. You can get an idea of relative size. Okay, that's all for Z. I'm going to give you one last look at it. Sorry for the vertigo-inducing motion here. Now we're going to start on O scale. O scale has a window to the helix. Unfortunately, the train arrived right on cue. How about that? This is a 3-turn helix, rises about 18 inches on one of the 2 lines on the O scale layout. This time last year, all this scenery was white plastered. So progress is being made. The group that works on this is 3.5 years into a 6-month rebuild. It was taken completely out what was here before and restarted. We're running a BNSF switcher, pulling some flat cars with automobiles from the 1950s, and a spotlight car as a tail end. This lake took an entire gallon of water effects stuff to pour it, and try to back up here a little bit. There you can see there's a hydroelectric component, and then the river runs under a yet to be fully scenic bridge area. There's 2 tracks that interchange briefly on the far side of the layout. This scene is representative of Crossville. A number of the buildings have gotten lights put in them, and most of the buildings that were on the hillside have been leveled up a little bit, but I still don't think they can keep water in the bathtub real good. And this is a kids-oriented area. Again, we've disabled the push buttons. Thomas goes around, and around. And there's a second line that also goes around and around. There's a button that lights up the police station and makes the helicopter blades go. And the crossing gates come down when the other train runs. This is more of the O scale. I believe Mac had a clinic on these water towers at one point. About how they really did hold water. And an engine house. Some of these tracks are dead end. They're just for storage of trains so that people can see them rather than being locked up in a closet or a box somewhere. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, look at this antique sort of powering system. But wait, each of the trains has a digital remote. So there is sound, there is special effects, that kind of thing. There's a lift up bridge here to get in here. We have some members that were really big on circuses. So this layout has a circus, even though that there really isn't a circus much anymore in use. And the back of the town is not real good looking. But then we got this this area that most of the visitors aren't ever going to get to see. It's tucked back in here, sort of a quarry operation. Crossville is, it was served by the Tennessee Central Railroad back in the day. If you've seen the movie Sergeant York, Alvin York came home to Tennessee after World War I, and he got off the train in Crossville, and that is depicted in the movie. The Tennessee Central is still in existence, but it only comes as far as a town called Monterey, which is about 30 miles west of here. There's a group restoring a steam locomotive that sat in the city park in Nashville for 50 years. And it's going to run from Nashville to a place called Watertown, where a turntable is being installed. All right. Any questions about O-scale?
That's all 3-rail track, but it looks like the center rail has been painted on its side, or is that Cargrave's track?
I'm not sure. The center rail is different from the other two. So I guess that's the more modern version of 3-rail. I'm not real up on that. And the fellow that was going to be here tonight, I don't see. All right, that brings us to G. And I didn't bring my wine cork with me, but each of these horses is about 4 times as big as that wine cork. So G is rather large. Last month's meeting was about G also. There's 2 lines here. They both go roundy round. One goes up and down a little bit. The other one goes through the bottom of the mountain. There's also a trolley line, which it's sitting still right now. And there's this area here. The scene changes according to the seasons. Next we'll be going in with, what goes next here, Ann?
Spring.
Spring season comes. Ann Gorgitsky is here. She's the coordinator of the G-scale layout, and she's going to tell me what to show you and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the G-scale is 28 by 36, and we have over 600 feet of track, both brass and stainless steel. And there's 3 different elevations. And there is a gondola. I don't, do you show them the gondola up there? It's a workable gondola
with a secret switch.
Right, so little kids can't play with it.
And a B-52.
And we have over 65 buildings. We have 4 tunnels. We have a train wreck over there. I don't know if you can see that way over yonder.
There.
By the mountain climbers there.
Yeah, the yellow cab steam engine went over the side.
Yeah, and then over here we have this is a permanent village that we just put in last year.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go back to the gas station for a minute.
Oh yes.
The voltmeter is the gas price. So,
yes, that tells me how much voltage is on the mountain line.
Yeah.
Also, we have a welder down in there. I don't know if it will show up on the camera underneath the rear wheel.
There he goes. Ann and her husband Jim are very much into G. They have some in their yard, and they've been doing this for almost 20 years here. She and he are charter members of the organization.
We have our people here in front, our gazebo with people waiting for the passenger train to come.
Yeah, which might be a long time. No, oh yeah, it's
And
in the
then
yard.
we have some billboards too that are flashing, working. We have that one, and we have the peanut one, and this here is a, I believe it's a Hessler.
No, that's a
Climate.
Shea.
That is a Shea. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bruce Gathman would be proud. Unfortunately, the Shea doesn't run. Somebody took it apart and lost the pieces.
Right. So it's a static display.
Yeah.
And this is the
Yeah,
this is the voltage for our little egg liner that probably
yeah. This is the voltage on the trolley line.
And there comes our train through the tunnel.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk.
Yeah. Well, we just set off the motion detector, so there goes the train.
And this is our yard.
Ronald McDonald, Campbell Soup. Oh, they're getting ready to blast.
And then over here, we have Mount Rushmore. And above Mount Rushmore, we have a UFO with a Martian. I don't know if it picked up on the camera or not, hanging in midair there.
Yeah. All kinds of scenery items to zoom in on. Lighting is a big thing here. Well, yeah, we can do it dark. Yeah, we can do. Paul, that was trying to run the second camera, is going to turn off the main lights and show you our nighttime display. That's amazing. The phone even picks that stuff up. Now these bulbs are showing white now, but they can do 9 different colors, and they can do them all at the same time or all at different times, and they can flash and they can brighten and they can dim. It's okay because Paul really is a rocket scientist. There goes the mountain line up the hill. They'll disappear over the bridge. Okay. Turn the museum lights back on. Yeah, the museum. Oh, okay. I was going to show you the Upper Cumberland Railway Society Museum, but it's a workroom right now. It's not in good shape. Yeah, our electrical guru has been doing stuff. So now you see the lights are all in a blue tint.
We use this as the moonlight setting.
Yeah, this is the dawn or the dusk one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back up here to N scale and turn the lights back on.
Okay. I started the drive-in.
Okay, good. That was one of my things on the list. Headed back toward the front door again. And this is one of the first things people see when they come in. I didn't see if John Johnston was on the call, but this would be his favorite. This is N for 9mm. It'll allow a railroad into a small space.
My favorite too, Ralph.
Okay, you got a loop of
John
trolley
is
here.
here.
Okay, got a trolley loop through town. We got container yard, scrap yard, steel company. Some of these buildings I think are actually Z scale, but they don't really look out of place terribly, especially if you don't worry about it too much. This is the mountain for the mountain line. Sorry, it's more of a hill, I know. There we go. There's the mountain train. Peabody Coal Company pulling SCL hoppers. We do like to run a caboose on the trains. Right. If you have a caboose, you haven't lost any cars off the back of the train. A lot of buildings, a lot of town, a lot of trees. There's a yard here that is.
So Ralph, is most of that layout looks like it's repurposed in-track modules?
No, I don't believe so. I believe it was built in place. This part we're looking at now is the newest wing of it, and nothing really happens with all this. Is pretty much just a car storage yard. The N-Scale group is thinking about starting operations. Oh yeah. So there's a little scenic item there. Oh, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Oh, there's people. All right. How do I get back? Anyway.
Ralph,
There,
how
that's
many
good.
members? How many members does the Crossville group have?
Right around 50.
And they're
we've
divided
had-
up into various layout interests.
Yes. Yeah. There's actually a structure by structure hierarchy. Each scale has a coordinator. Not by structure, by scale. Some funny. And anyway, right now the Z coordinator spot is open if anybody's interested. Let's see, go back. All right. No, that's not what I wanted to do.
You need a haircut, Ralph.
Thank you.
Was that Ralph or Ruff?
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Anytime, partner.
Yeah. They don't give them here like they did at the academy. This area where the big open space used to be all full of an engine terminal that was somewhat derelict, and the switches didn't work. The track wasn't powered. That's all under revision currently. And again, the N-Scale group is considering doing an operations scheme where the trains just went through. That's all new track. And it's electrified to the point where you can park a train on one track and then depart the train on the other track. So our members that bring in their own stuff can build the train while the club train is running, and then just switch over. Jack, you're looking pretty comfortable there.
Thanks.
In fact, that's about the fanciest lounge chair I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a lounge chair or a teddy bear.
Actually, it's a Clemson blanket. I'm in my wife's sewing room.
Aha.
Okay. All right. Last stop is, oh, I forgot. We've repopulated our literature rack, but we did not have any CRMHA literature put in the rack. Oh no. Not that you're hosting a lot of visitors, I know.
Oh, Jackie, marketing. Oh, Jackie.
All right.
Oh, and you forgot underneath the G scale.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we did. All right. This is Paul.
Oh,
Paul's been a member here for a lot longer than I have. He's the HO scale coordinator, and he, like I said, he is a rocket scientist. And he's going to give us a little bit of guidance as to what's going on here in HO. I'm going to start back here. Crossville did not have a 3-level station, but it does on our track because we've got a trolley that goes by it.
because we can.
Yeah, because we can, right? The trolley continues up the hillside over to the next of the 6 piers. Or is it only 5? Yeah, we'll call it 6. What the heck? So,
HO is the largest scale of the club. You've got nearly 700 feet of mainline track divided into 4 loops. You can run either loop as DC or DCC
with the flip of a switch.
with the flip of a switch. It's running both right now on 2 loops to one way and 2 loops to the other.
And for operating sessions, all the loops become one track.
Become one big railroad, yes. So we use the loops as a demonstration when we're open to the public. And that's the purpose of all the dividers in front of everything, keep people's hands out of things. But they can be a pain at times, so we take the majority of them down when we do operating locations.
Yeah.
And we'll put 6, 7, 8 people in here at a time running trains.
There was a plan to eliminate these wooden frames on the plexiglass and put in heavier duty plexiglass, but our visitor count has dropped rather significantly. Our contribution per visitor hasn't suffered much, but just the total number of visitors has plummeted. We weren't even open from March to June. So again, one of our members, another long time member, is built this Ringling Brothers train. That says somebody else's circus on it, but so we got the big top, we got the Carnival. There's a Z scale park train that goes around. We got it town going here, and a farm, and off in the distance. Let's see if how do I get rid of the pictures of the people and get my picture back big? Sorry.
You should be able to change your view.
Back to meeting. Change view.
Ralph, how big is the total space you have?
The suite's a little over 4,500 square feet, including a maintenance area and a small museum and an office in the back that's not open to the public. Our public area is probably 3,800 square feet, something like that.
And no plumbing, no housekeeping to do.
Okay.
I was trying to zoom in over here. We've got the train.
All my Zoom meetings have been on a laptop.
Yeah. Over here, we've got, in the order that they were admitted to the union, except the caboose is on the wrong end, we've got 13 states, set of freight cars. So, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, North Carolina, and Rhode Island. All right, this is the second side of pier number 1, a town scene with a working crossing gate alarm. You'll hear that going off. Oh, train wreck.
We'll let the hand of God fix this.
Yeah, the 050. The different lines don't intersect unless something is out of place. Or we've tried to turn them on to intersect. We have occupancy detectors and various things. We've got mile posts, whistle posts, all kinds of gadgetry going on. This is Crossville station platform, much larger than the actual ever was. And now we're going around to the first side of pier number 2, which has another town scene, police department, a helicopter, a couple of helicopters. Oh yeah, the donut shop is next door to the police station. And the fire department. There's Big O Donuts. These numbers on the fascia are for throwing the turnout using your throttle. We got the JMRI capability on that. A little bit of a rural scene here. The eternal Christmas tree, which is. And have you ever whatever happened to Jimmy? There he is. He's in the cement. I was talking earlier about the Tennessee Central Railroad. To the east of us toward Knoxville, there's a town called Crab Orchard, which is somewhat of a misnomer. There's no crabs and there are, I guess there's a couple apple orchards, but there's a big stone operation there. And they still are pulling stone out of the mountain and sending it east to Knoxville on some of the most rickety trestles you've ever seen. But and that was in Railroad and Railfan magazine recently.
July 2018 or 19?
Yeah, July a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago now, 2.5. This is one of the crossovers between the N&W line and the Southern line. And you notice that there's 2 levels here of track. On the upper level here, we got Camp Swampy. With people coming and going. We got a big gun carriage car. Tanks. Okay. And oh, it's off again. The L&N's not performing well. Okay, the presidential limousine is parked here in front of one of the business establishments.
That's fine.
I don't know if you can read the sign behind the limousine. Girls, girls, girls. The general store. The road department built some pretty steep grades, but you know, it's all scale modeling license, right? William Drazel limestone. William Drazel was one of our members, a very good modeler. He was a veteran. He was at D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge, and he just passed away on December 30th, 93 years old. 98? 98. Sorry, 98 years old. That's right, from 1927, what would be 98? Duh. Do the math. I told you he's a rocket scientist. One of our members is into fire trucks and that sort of thing, having been a volunteer fireman. And here's the name of the building that's on fire.
The Crossville Fire Department's been at that for months.
Yeah, they still haven't put it out. One visitor pointed out that we didn't have any hoses running from the hydrant to to the fire engines. That may be why they can't put it out. This is another former member, H.W. Sutton. We got a tipple there filling ore cars. One of our scenarios in the operating system is to switch those cars out and put in empties, and they are very heavily weighted, so you have to take them out just 4 at a time. You can't just go in there and grab them all and go. Got the Caboose Motel Diner, and there's the Caboose. And I brought you up here into the, got the laptop running JMRI. And here's various controls. Each of these switches, you can see some are up, some are down. Those are select between DC and DCC. We got master power switch. And then when you're running DC, this is where your trains get their power. And when you're running DCC, this is part of the Digitrax. We've got a
200.
We got a DCS 200. We had a 240,
It's not online yet.
but it's been troublesome. This track is a programming track. It's not connected to the rest of the layout. And there's a switch over here to select programming track mode for that. Which brings us to tier number 3. We got a little bit of an alpine village up here on top with a not so alpine modern looking house. KFC, another container facility. Lots of vehicles, lots and lots of vehicles. Another scrapyard. FedEx. This is actually a stop on the operations. Stop at FedEx station and do some switching here. We got an airport with a P-51 taking off and a revolving restaurant on top of the hotel building. This is one reason we're thinking of heavy duty plexiglass. It doesn't hold up real good. Building under construction. This is an interesting switching area here. This is called Lyall, Lyall. Is that another member? Yeah, another member. And when you get the directions for switching this yard, you have to pull out a whole bunch of stuff, and some of it's behind other stuff that has to be put back, and then you have to put in, new cars that are, some of them go behind stuff that has to be put back. Got the local hospital. We give recognition to that's another longtime member. Tom Shellcross is also our superintendent of the local NMRA district. We're probably the smallest district. We only have 20 members. Yeah. And there's a meeting Monday if anybody wants to come. Oh, that's right. It's going to snow. We also have a UPS yard. We give equal time right next to the pig farm and the cow farm. Some of these vehicles are a little out of scale, but hey, we won't worry about that. At the Indian Wigwam Motel Village with log cabins. We'll get another look at that later when we go around to the next year. Big engine house, 3-track engine house, and a roundhouse with a turntable. This is non-functioning at this time. not part of the operating schedule. So we've got a maintenance away train park back here and some other things. We do have a stone quarry that is switchable. And
These piers, there's no use it.
yeah, this is the most recently updated pier. Got a Medusa Cement doing some work here. Glacier Gravel Company owns the quarry. And I'm gonna go back down here and then shoot back down the other way.
Scenery's not complete.
Yeah, this is the newest track work on the layout. Where you see the yellow covered hopper. Oh, come on. That track is an interchange, switching lead, crossover, passing siding, you name it. Because if you left one of the lines on the other side and went into the yard, you couldn't get back onto the same track. So by installing this Y and putting a track down the center, it fulfills all those functions. Oh, look at there, the train's coming and the signal's changed. Is it big enough? I'm struggling here because I'm looking at a small picture.
Right.
After the train goes by, that signal turns green. I mentioned Tom Shellcross. He's the one installing those. And it's an Azatrax system. I think we're doing some kind of beta testing.
We've done a lot of beta testing.
Yeah, this oil terminal is new. All the track here on the HO is Atlas Code 100, except for hand laid turnout and 2 spurs here in the oil area. This was built as part of a clinic when we had enough people here. We had a meeting and did a socially distanced clinic. Not ballasted yet. The lumber company was on the other side of the pier where the oil distributor is now, but all this yard was what, 6 months old?
A year and a half long.
Oh, it is. Wait. Time passes when you're having a good time.
HO happens often.
But 2 of the lines run through here, the Tennessee Central line and the Southern. And one goes over here where the heavy equipment is, where the cat dealer is, and one is out by the edge, out by the plexiglass. You know, everything in between is yard tracks.
Ralph, how wide are your piers?
How wide are the piers? I'm going to guess 8 feet.
And how high is the main track off the floor?
It's right about my belt buckle height. So 3.5 feet.
Okay, thank you.
How
There's
long
another-
is how long has this HO layout been under construction? When was it started?
The HO layout is getting close to, parts of it are close to 20 years old. We have actually been in this building for 19 years. Yeah. Right. It started out, you know, people brought in their personal stuff and we butted tables together. Yeah. Yeah. It's an ongoing thing. Okay, here's the log cabin village, a little bit better detail. Some truss works, and some girder bridges. Now this tunnel portal, that's on the Norfolk and Western line. That runs in there. Oh, here comes the train right on cue. Couldn't have done that if I tried. That train's going to run in there and it's going to come out, 30 feet to my left and go back in the same tunnel portal. But the next time it comes out, going to come back out this lower trestle. So there's a one-turn helix back there in the back room. That's not scenic and not open to the public. It's the storage room and whatnot. There's a portable. See here, it came out on the top level. Yeah, it's just it's a continuous grade. I'm being corrected. Oh, you like switching puzzles? This is called Golden Valley, and it has got crossovers and runarounds and dead end tracks and you name it, sharp turnouts, all kinds of it's on operation sections. I don't like to draw this train because the arrival departure spur isn't long enough to hold everything. This one derailed again. Rear truck on the L&N again.
Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah. Anyway, there goes the N&W on the. Now it's going to go back all the way to Pier 2 and be on the upper level, and then go down to the bottom level and come back around, do it again. Yes, our website is crossvilletrains.org.
Lots of information, videos, pictures.
Yeah. We've got a member that runs a hobby shop, but he's not in good health right now. ARCY Hobbies, RC, I think it's called RC DVD and Hobby. It's out in the boonies because he used to run a Christmas tree farm there, and he built a hobby shop on the grounds of the Christmas tree farm. But he's having some heart troubles. No telling what's going to happen to his hobby shop. What else can I show you? That's pretty much it.
I saw a bunch of Caboose Industries ground throws. Is that what you use primarily to throw all these turnouts?
Most of them are on tortoise machines.
The majority of them are tortoises, and they're operated by DS64s.
Yeah.
The Golden Valley one here is the only one that we have.
Yeah, Golden Valley's got the Caboose Industry ground throws, and I believe they're I believe they're N scale rather than HO scale.
No, I think they're HO.
Oh, okay. But it's quite a switching puzzle with all these little short runarounds.
Yeah, sign me up for this one, Ralph.
Okay.
This is Sandy. This is a job I want when I come visit.
All right. All right.
First thing you got to do is clean this track back here. Too.
Yeah.
It doesn't get used much.
Yeah. We are.
How often do you have operating sessions?
We were doing every other month.
And then we were doing every month, every Monday, the first Monday of every month, but the pandemic's kind of stopped it for a while.
Yeah. Like your club, most of our members are senior citizens and susceptible. So we were closed until Father's Day weekend. So, and our attendance isn't nearly what it was, but the money's not not lagging much. Of course, last January was also a slow time.
So is your organization funded primarily by the cookie jar at the front door?
Yes, the donation jar is the number one goal when you're here on duty. Encourage people to have a good time, and oh, by the way, your donations pay our rent, your donations pay our insurance, your donations pay for our equipment upkeep and our these signs are fairly new. And it's
You have
it's a little
dues.
bit of overkill maybe, but they have done the job. That Father's
you-
Day weekend when we opened, somebody put $100 bill in,
You have a dues for members.
$30 a year.
It's a cheap club.
Well, there's been talk about raising it. I didn't end up using a tripod, but if you want to put your phone on a tripod, this is $5 at Walmart. And then in our stack of magazines that we give away to people, it's the March 1963 model railroader, John Allen.
Nice.
The concept about, so it's got the schematics, it's got the track plan, it's got a 3D visualization, and it's written by John Allen. I mean, makes you want to, go visit it, but too bad you can't do that anymore. And when was the last time that you saw a model railroader publish a fold out? Check that out. A 1 to a 1/4 inch scale drawing of an F unit.
E unit.
Sorry. That's just amazing. I think I'm going to keep this one. I'm not going to give it away to a visitor.
That'll be a collector's piece there, bud.
Yeah, it's in pretty good shape, except with like a sticker on it. Anyway,
That little oval in the center of that track plan was where the Gory and Defeated started. It was a little oval with a couple of sidings. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
yeah, I don't know anybody that ever got to see it. Some of our folks here have been to San Diego to see the Tehachapi Loop run.
He used a lot of Varney stuff to the point that Gordon Varney would put pictures of his Varney items he had on his layout in the Varney catalog.
Yeah,
So it looks like about almost half of your square footage is HO.
just about. Yeah,
You
just
have
about.
a lot of model trains there, Ralph, to play with.
Yes, we do.
You
there's
have landed on your proverbial model railroading feet there, I think.
Yeah, there's no S here. Sorry, Sage. We don't have any S. But with the sir.
When you get a chance, go back over there to where the O-gauge stuff is for sale and do a little
Okay.
scan of
Yeah.
that. It's a thing we could use down here at Central. Sage, I think Sage is watching. He knows if we need any of that stuff or not.
REA, was that a baggage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 9L baggage car.
Package.
An observation.
Yeah, we got everything with the baggage car, I believe.
And silver something.
And what's the car up behind it? What's the name of it?
2421 Maplewood.
Okay.
It's
All
a
right,
short coach.
Thanks.
Oh, maybe Matt can say if this is that a $12 car?
No, not in the shape it's in, I don't think.
Oh, maybe all three of them for $12.
Yeah, you might get a nibble that way.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of track here. This is This is a crescent. Robert E. Lee. And it's Lionel.
Yeah, it's from the 1970s.
It is plastic, yeah. They've got
Thanks,
that
Ralph.
mark. They got that mark for sale for $64 just for the Robert E. Lee. I think that's a little optimistic.
Yeah, it'll be sitting there 10 years from now at that price.
Yeah.
Put like $6 or $7 on it, and you'll sell it.
Yeah. I opened up one of the Ambroid kits. It is literally a box of sticks.
Yeah, those were collector's items. I used to put those together when I was into HO back in the early 60s, I guess.
Yeah. Got the instructions with it. I was going to look for a date. Sorry about the view. Oh, St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern Stock Car. Pretty good drawing.
Yeah, and they were fairly easy to put together. I mean, it just took some basic tools and a lot of glue. And if anything came already lettered and painted, they told you what the matching paint was that you could go buy that would match whatever was already pre-lettered.
Okay, that's what this jar is then. It's dried out paint. It actually rattles. Yeah, there's one piece in here. There's a sill in here that's already painted. Got some lettering on it.
Yeah. Well, they also told you what brand and what color of paint was on it, so you could go to the hobby shop and buy the matching paint.
Oh, there's even some metal pieces in here. Anyway, one of 5,000 HO collectors. We got them marked $8 each. Should I put you down for all 4 of them?
No, I got enough HO.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun, guys. Didn't go exactly as I thought it would, but I don't think I did too bad.
Ralph, you did wonderful. And I'm just amazed at how much the Crossville group has. All of these layouts and all of the buildings. I have no idea how many there are, but it's just incredible.
Yeah. Somebody counted them up a couple of years ago. And we figure over the 20 years we've been inviting the public to come in, we've had about 600,000 visitors.
600,000. Foot traffic, man.
You can do the math on that. Now those aren't all unique people, but some of them have been here before. But I was on duty last Friday, and half of the people that came in were here to see the trains, and the other half came to the mall to shop, and ended up staying and watching trains. So maybe we're not doomed, but with the mall changing ownership recently, and we're on a month-to-month basis, we're going to at least try to get a 90-day lease. Whether if we have to get out of here, we have 90 days to chop it up and put it in a dumpster. Because I don't think
What's
too much of it. We pay $800 a month, which is nowhere near what the current rental rate is on these suites in here. Oh, somebody went by the motion detector. There goes the train. That upper loop usually has 2 trains on it, and each one does a half lap on the same track. So when it comes to a stop, they're in the opposite positions from where they used to be. Again, we've had to disable a lot of individual controls and things.
Do you, are you taking in enough money monthly to pay your lease, pay your rent and your insurance and all that stuff?
So far, we're okay. Our budget in 2020, well, that was a joke. We anticipated income of about 20,000, and the rent's only 9,600, so we do pretty well most of the time. We get families, we get school groups, not so much anymore.
Get any
It's fun.
sugar daddies there?
Sir, say again?
Got any sugar daddies that help?
We did get a grant from the local electric company to put toward our 20-year anniversary celebration. Oh, I didn't show you the popcorn machine. We can't make popcorn for people anymore. That wouldn't go over too big. We used to give out stickers to the kids, and they could reach into a Thomas shaped bucket and pull out we could pull out candies and stuff like that. But that's gone, at least for
That's
the
great.
time being.
Great layout, Ralph, and thank you for the show. That's very wonderful to see.
Here in Tennessee, you can now get the vaccine if you're 70, but until last week you had to be 75.
But we're already down to 65 here.
Yeah.
And us 70-year-olds, I think most of us have already had our first shot.
Oh, yeah.
But
Hey, is there still a Russell Stover candy plant there in Crossville?
I don't think so. I think that's gone. We do have ceramic tile industry here, and wood flooring, big time.
Reason I was asking, probably 30 years ago, I called on a Russell Stover plant there in Crossville.
Oh, yeah. There used to be snow skiing and stuff here, but not anymore. I'm gonna start shutting this stuff down.
How far off of I-26 are you?
If I looked out the door of the mall, I'd be looking at Interstate 40.
Oh, I'm sorry, Interstate 40, not 26.
Our logo is on the end of the building, and it is visible from Interstate 40. Not real legible, but it's visible.
Screen
there's-
just went black. Is that me or is that everybody?
I think that's just you, Sandy.
yeah,
Well,
we can still see you.
What I have to do?
there's a reference to golf, the 19th hole. Crossville is the golf capital of Tennessee. There's a place here that I don't know if it rivals Kiwi Key, but it's Fairfield Glade. They've got 5 18-hole courses and a 9-hole.
Well, since we only have one, I think it rivals us.
Yeah, but they don't have near the amenities and whatnot. No, we can't go out the front door. We'll set off the alarm. The mall is closed. And it's time for Paul and I to go entertain our wives.
Well, and it's time for us to talk about the next month. Can you turn me on, Cam, or am I just going to be looking at a black screen here?
I'm turning you on now.
I can see you.
No, I can see him.
We can see you, Sandy.
I can't see anybody. Next,
I
I
don't
just
know
got
what
a
you
black.
did.
I did something. I've just got a black screen here.
All right.
Next month.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to sign out.
Well, thanks, Ralph.
Thanks,
Really
Ralph.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thanks,
Thank you, Ralph.
Bye now.
Next month, our home layout tour will be Bill Green from right here in Kiwi. And I actually have not seen Bill's layout. I'm looking forward to seeing it. After that, I don't know. We don't have anything lined up after next month, although I think the Bacons and John Johnston and maybe David Mead were thinking about doing our own museum layout for one of these. Is that a possibility, guys, or not? Any of you still here?
Sandy, this is Jim. I think we can do something like that.
Yeah, the piece, we've got, we've got enough people between the Bacons and me to do the video. I think the question will be, we have to find a historian who can actually talk about it as we go around, and we can make that work.
All right, great. And then we will be ready, I think, for those of us who've been working on our layouts to maybe do a second tour, because things have changed on a lot of our members' layouts, and we might start going back. I'd like to go back and see what Bob Folsom has done and what Howard Garner has done. We started this whole process with them. So with that, I will see you all via Zoom, I guess, for the steering committee meeting at the end of this month, and for the home layout tour next month at Bill Green's house. Good night, all.
Thanks, guys.
And there you go.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks.